Get up a little bit. Oh, that's a little bit better. You want it? You just start the show. All right. Be careful. I'm communication there. Look. Ain't nothing.
We are live tonight all the way west of Duval County here in Baldwin, Florida, where your Baldwin Indians, for their homecoming game, will host Wolfson. Welcome, everybody. I am joined alongside tonight by Bruce Ruiz. We'll get to him in just a moment. Baldwin tonight comes in at 5-2 after winning last week against Paxton, after Baldwin lost 2 games back-to-back to Andrew Jackson and Episcopal. Baldwin has came back in the last 2 weeks and came back with 2 great wins over Bradford, 38-21, and Bradford 41-0. That was Baldwin's first shutout since Baldwin wrapped up its season last year against Middleburg 20-0 as the captains meet at the middle of the field. Baldwin's in the all-black, Wolfson's in the white tops, blue bottoms. As Cortez Martinez, DeJuan Malpress, Hagan McQuaid, and Ethan Krause are the captains. As Baldwin's in the all-black. And we're going to throw it to Mr. Takish. As Baldwin is half the players, I guess it's Halloween nights with some of the all-black with some of the players in the orange undershirts. As the call is tails, and for the first time, I think, maybe ever, the referees have the intercom going around. But Bruce, thanks for joining me, and it's going to be a fun one tonight.
It's a pleasure being here. I've seen many games on this field, and I've never sat in this spot, but I'm looking forward to it. The Indians are on a roll. Look for them to get another big win here tonight. Keep things going right into the Baker County game next week.
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about a lot about that Baker County game, as we're not going to throw it to the national anthem.
The color guard is provided by our Baldwin Middle Senior High School Junior ROTC program. The cadets are in the color guard this evening are Right Rifle Guard Staff Sergeant Caitlin Waddell. The national color bearer is Lieutenant Colonel Emily Brown. The battalion color bearer is Sergeant Robert Bretland. The left rifle guard is Command Sergeant Major Bretland Wilson. The national anthem will be sung by Carla Leandri.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets spread the bombs bursting in
That's one way to do a national anthem. Carlin and Andrew with the national anthem as the homecoming tonight. Perfect weather. Sun's not out. The lights were on. It's been a mostly cloudy day. It's rained for most of the day. The parade was canceled as there was a little bit of a tornado warning or tornado watch, one of the two. I can't remember. But no parade. Still homecoming game tonight. Weather's around the low 70s. As ROTC walks off the field. As Baldwin comes onto the field, as we now wait for Wolfson to come out of the west end zone. As Baldwin still, if you look at the RPI rankings, Baldwin right now would host West Nassau. So Wolfson doesn't have one of the highest RPI rankings. So it'll be interesting to see if Baldwin does win this game, what Baldwin will do with their strength of schedule. But next week, Baldwin will get a big test with Baker County. They won their game last week against Ed White. They're the district champion. But tonight, Baldwin has to take care of business against Wolfson, who is 2-5. Excuse me, 2-6 rather. Two of their wins have came against as ball will open, we'll kick it off to start the game. Aiden O'Neill will boot it away from his own 40, kicking it off right to left from our Burkins Chevrolet broadcast booth. It's caught at the 20 under the numbers, and he gets out to the 33-yard line. And Wolfson will take over at their own 32-yard line. So Nichols will be the quarterback for Wolfson. 1st and 10 from the left hash at his own 32. It's a high snap. It goes over his head. It bounces out of 25, and he luckily recovers. It looks like he did at his own 19. Almost recovered by Eric Buggus. And on the first play, Wolfson goes in the wrong direction.
Loss of a little over 10 yards. Bring up 2nd down and 22. Good place to start for the defense. Put them in a hole.
So it'll be 2nd, and it looks like a little over 20. 22 to make it. Just a minute into the game. And the referee wants to stop the clock with 11:16 in the first quarter. As we've just started the game between Baldwin and Wolfson, still scoreless. Wolfson calls the first timeout of the game with 11:16 in the first quarter. So it's 2nd and 22 after Wolfson received the opening kickoff. But it's a beautiful night. The lights are on. Temperatures are in the low 70s. No breeze as it rained pretty much for most of the morning. And it came to a cease right around noon. No homecoming parade today for Baldwin, as that will be made up for later in the year. But on defense, up front, you have from left to right, McCray, McQuaid, Yurdy, Buggist, and Carter. Your linebackers will be Octavius Barnes, Malcolm Harvin, and Cortez Martinez. And in the backfield will be DeBose playing safety, in your two corners, Donald Velvet and Sam Brooks. Armel DeBose got an interception last week. This first one on the season, and the leading tacklers were Buggist with 10 and McCray with 9. Wolfson, middle of the field, 2nd and 22 from their own 22. Another bad snap. It rolls to the inside the 5 as he slides on his belly. Nichols does, the Wolfson quarterback. And boy, back-to-back bad snaps for Wolfson. 11 minutes left in the first quarter, no score.
Yeah, that puts the ball inside the 5-yard line, where I used to hear that's 3rd down and a cab ride.
It's probably a 3rd and a Baldwin mile, something like that.
Absolutely. All my old Lake Shore Pop Warner football players will understand that. Cab ride.
10:20 left in the first quarter. Clock runs. Wolfson ball at their own 5. Need to get to the 42 to get a first down. Nichols, it's a power to the right side. McCray wraps him up and brings him down. Sam Brooks says it's a fumble. McCray comes out with the ball, and it's Baldwin ball. So I guess when McCray wrapped him up, he somehow punched the ball out, and Baldwin will have an excellent field position to start the game.
Yeah, they're lining up basically for an extra point at the 2-yard line. Great place to start for the offense. Go ahead and put us a touchdown on the board and get this ball rolling.
Clock stops, 10:08 left in the first quarter. And Ethan Krause will get the start. The personnel on the field looks like they're going to roll with a bunch of big men. DeBose will start in the backfield. Tight ends to each side with Buggist to the right, Tez to his left, Jahad Miller, the receiver, to left, Malpress, the receiver, lined out right. Krause gives behind his right guard to DeBose. He's wrapped up and thrown back. Now it's number 51 for Wolfson, Elijah Robinson. Looks like he might have gotten one. Just under 10 minutes left in the first quarter. Baldwin trying to put the first points on the board.
Yeah, very little on that play. Number 51 held his gap. Did a great job stopping, wrapping up DeBose in the hole.
You know, and Coach Bruce, last week, Baldwin got out to a slow start against Paxton. Although they did win 41-0, it was a slow start, 7-0 at the half before Baldwin blew it open in the third. It's something that Baldwin hopes to fix and get a big start in this game against Wolfson on homecoming tonight. 2nd and goal from the 4. Krause wants a fade, right side to Malpress, and it's caught on top of the DB. Well, now referee says it's incomplete. Malpress stands on the track in lane 1, throws his hands up, but he had it in his chest, and the DB ripped it out, and it's 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line.
Yeah, he reached over the corner and looked like he had the ball trapped against the corner, and the corner kept his hands in between him and the ball and did a good job of ripping it out there.
That was Marcel Brisbane on the coverage. 9:11 left in the first quarter. Clock stops. Wolfson turns the ball over inside their own 5, and Baldwin's trying to capitalize at the 3-yard line on this 3rd and goal. Krause in the gun, DeBose in the backfield. Krause gives to DeBose, tries to get it behind his left guard, and the offensive line just doesn't have any penetration up front. Gets a yard maybe, and it's going to be 4th and goal at the 2-yard line. DeBose on the carry.
Yeah, that's number 52, Jefferson Lamont. He plugged that B gap pretty good. There was nowhere for DeBose to go on that play.
So Krause splits the huddle. 4th and goal, 8.5 minutes left in the first. No score. DeBose in the backfield, 2 receivers to the right with a tight end right. Krause wants a fade. Eric Buggus, left side. This time it's in. He extends his arms on the defensive back, and Baldwin leads 6-0. Buggus, who Baldwin ran last week against Paxton, got the touchdown last week and gets the touchdown this time. Baldwin leads 6-0, 8:22 left in the first quarter over Wolfson.
Looked like a great call on a matchup with Buggus on number 22, Corey Richardson. Looked like he was about a foot taller than him. Krause made a great throw. Buggus came down with it for the touchdown.
Snap's good. Kicks away on the extra point from O'Neal, and it's good. Baldwin leads this game 7-0. As we're going to pause 30 seconds with a word from our Farm Bureau insurance agent, BJ Ruiz.
Protecting your investments and your family is essential when things go wrong. That's why you need home and auto insurance. BJ Ruiz here with Farm Bureau Insurance in Duval County, where we have been providing insurance policies for clients like you the last 60 years. We have competitive rates, offer bundle discounts. Please call BJ Ruiz for a free quote today with Farm Bureau Insurance, 904-655-4347. Real people, real service. Farm Bureau.
Baldwin leads at 7-0 over Wolfson after the Eric Buggus touchdown. O'Neal will boot it away right to left from our Burkins Chevrolet broadcast booth as the whistle blows. Ball rolls out of bounds just in front of the goal line. But Baldwin was just a little bit offsides. Wolfson in 2019 was 7-3, their best regular season since 2004. Last year, everyone made the playoffs, and Wolfson was winless 0-8. But Coach B in year number 4 has got the team where he's trying to get it to where he wants to be in the future. You know, Wolfson, something that not a lot of people know, went through 9 head coaches in the span of 10 years. And him being here at Wolfson for his 4th consecutive years brings stability as O'Neal finally boots it away from his own 35. It's caught from Wolfson's own 15. Number 7 will get it around, and it's an excellent open field tackle. So Sean Baldwin, number 30, wraps his arms around him, gets him down in a hurry around Wolfson's 23-yard line.
Nice open field tackle by number 30, Sean Baldwin. Makes me proud as an old middle school coach. Had him as our Mike linebacker a couple years ago. Great kid. Yeah, glad to see him make that play.
8:17 left in the first quarter. 1st and 10 for Wolfson. They trail Baldwin 7-0 from their 26-yard line. Nichols in the gun, double wing. Power right side, follows his lead blockers. The defensive end on the left side. It's like Yurdy and McCray were in on the tackle. 2nd and 8.
That was a pretty good job holding to about a 2-yard gain. Bring up 2nd and 8. Just a straight power to the right. We're bringing 2 receivers up top here to the right side.
2nd and 8 from Wolfson's 28. It's this time it's a power to left side, and boy, nothing working. A lot of black jerseys around Sam Brooks. McCray in on the tackle with among the few. No gain. 3rd and 8 from Wolfson's 28-yard line.
Yeah, you're barking up the wrong tree there, running over to that left side, but Buggus over there squeezing that down, doing a great job.
.705 left in the first quarter. 3rd and 8 from Wolfson's 29-yard line. Only one receiver split out left. Double wing, double tight end. McCray comes free. Ball's thrown to the seam. Caught at the 45, and he's tackled at the middle of the field by DeBose and Sam Brooks in the secondary.
Yeah, Daniel Davison came open, and the quarterback, Aiden Nichols, made a great throw. DuBose was playing real deep. He did come up and deliver a pretty good blow, but not before the gain of 21 yards on the play.
Six and a half minutes left in the first quarter. 1st and 10 from midfield. Nichols bursts through the hole. He gets past the 40 to the 35, and he's tackled at the 32-yard line in front of Baldwin's sideline on the right side. Tackled by Cortez Martinez. And Wolfson's in business in Baldwin territory. 1st and 10.
Yeah, Nichols on that Q power after about 8 yards up the middle, broke to his right and ended up with about a 17-yard pickup.
Ball's out of the right hash at the 33 in Baldwin territory. Two receivers split out right. Nichols in the gun with a wing and a tight end left. Whistle blows before the snap. Ryan Horton was in motion right to left. It was a false start on the center as the referee is going to call for a water timeout as the drizzle comes back onto, well, the town of Baldwin. I wouldn't say the field, but if it's raining on the field, it's raining everywhere in the town. But this timeout is brought to you by Commercial Metals, the official sponsor of Baldwin Athletics. So, Bruce, you know something about a little bit about Commercial Metals, and you got that thing sponsored over there right below the scoreboard, didn't you?
Yeah, it was great to see them step up and support the hometown team here, you know, with not just with their mouth, but with their money. And it's great to see the money being poured right here into the local community where the mill is located.
So after the fall started, 1st and 15, rain begins to come back down to the field after it was stopped from about 12 o'clock this afternoon. 1st and 10 from Wolves at the 38. It's a power jet sweep to the right side around this right tackle. Davison on the carry as he tries to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and it'll be 2nd and 11 from the 34-yard line in Baldwin territory.
That was a well-designed play. Baldwin did a great job holding to a 4-yard gain. I mean, still 11 yards. They're still behind the chains, so defense needs to make a play here. Make something happen. Let's see what happens.
A lot of the umbrellas on Baldwin's side as the rain continues to pour down. 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Quarterback keeps it, fakes the jet sweep around the right side, tackled by the linebacker, Octavius Barnes at the 33-yard line on top of the painted numbers on the right side. Just under 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Baldwin 7, Wolfson nothing.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and 10. Octavius Barnes did a great job staying home, not getting caught on the counter. The quarterback pulled the ball, faking the jet sweep and to the left and ran back to the right. But Octo did a great job there.
Yeah, Octo, the sophomore. This Baldwin team's really young, and if you look at most of the roster, a team that lost 20-plus seniors a year ago, you had to reload a little bit. But as we have a 3rd and 10, Nichols gets around the left edge, around Mason Carter, the defensive end. He's getting tracked down by McCray from behind. He gets popped by one of the defensive backs on the far side, as he should be short of the first down. It'll be 4th and 3. But Bruce, a lot of this Baldwin team defensively is a lot of sophomores, and this middle school team that Baldwin's coming out has a lot of talent with a lot of 8th graders. So the future definitely looks bright for Baldwin as Wolfson has a 4th and 3.
Yes, it does. These sophomores that were 8th graders for us on the middle school team 2 years ago, it's great to see them having success here on the varsity level, and look forward to what's going to happen in the next couple of years with the group we got coming.
4th and 3 for Nichols. And the 23-yard line. He tries to go right and gets stuffed up the gut from Yurdy. He tried to go right, and there's a late penalty, as it might be called on the coach for a sideline warning, as you can see a big old red rain jacket come out to the numbers from Wolfson's sideline. But the penalty was after the play, so regardless, it is a sideline warning. So it'll be Baldwin ball. First penalty for sideline warning is a warning. The next one is a penalty. As Ethan Krause and company will come back onto the field. 3:20 left in the first quarter. Baldwin 7, Wolfson nothing. First and 10 for Baldwin at their 30-yard line. Krause in the gun to Bose in the backfield. 3 receivers set with Tez at tight end left. Krause wants it all down the left side of Jihad Miller. It's caught at the 45 at Wolfson territory below the painted numbers, and he's tackled at the 36-yard line. Jihad Miller with 1 catch last week for a touchdown gets a big one there, and Baldwin goes no huddle.
Nice 33-yard gain on first down, moving the chains over into Wolfson territory, marching towards the end zone.
3:10 left in the first. Baldwin 7, Wolfson nothing. First and 10 at the 37-yard line at the left hash. Krause gives to DeBose. He tries to give to his right guard, and nothing really working there. Got 2 yards. DeBose tried to find a B gap, got a little bit, got what he could on a 2nd and 8.
He got what was there. There were 2 yards there. He got them, and then was gang tackled by the entire interior line from Wolfson.
2.5 minutes left in the first quarter on this Baldwin homecoming game. Baldwin trying to stack up wins before the playoffs start in 2 weeks. 2nd and 8, the middle of the field at the 36. DeBose gets the give behind his right guard and gets stood up, and he got about half the yards for a first down on that 2nd and 8. And it'll bring up 3rd and 5 at the 32-yard line. 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Yeah, the sophomore right tackle, Kenneth Huntley's got his hands full over there with number 51. And speaking of which, he had his hands full of jersey, but they were inside and they didn't get caught. So he's got his work cut out for him tonight. 51 is a man.
Yeah, it's like they all saying you do it until you get caught.
Hey, this is your kingdom. You come up here.
1:40 left in the first quarter. Clock runs on a 3rd and 5. Ball's at the middle of the field at the 32-yard line. Krause, shotgun snap, fires one right of the hook curl to the left side. Caught at the 25-yard line by DeJuan Malpris. Tackled at the 23. And I'll move the chains for a Baldwin first down. 90 seconds left in the first quarter. Baldwin 7, Wolfson nothing.
That was a great ball with a little elevation. DeJuan came off of his feet, went up and got that rebound, came down with it for the first down.
So the ball will be at the left hash. Baldwin ball at the Wolfson 23. 1:10 left in the first quarter. Trips right. Jihad Miller, the lone receiver left. DeBose just beside Krause off his left hip. Shotgun snap. Krause wants the end zone. Jihad Miller gets some jersey tug at the goal line, and the ball was a little overthrown, but for good reason. And it'll be a pass interference on the Wolfson defensive back covering Jihad Miller.
Yeah, I think that was Alex Taylor on the corner. He was beaten, even though the ball was overthrown a little bit. You don't give up the touchdown, so he gives up the 10-yard penalty. And Baldwin moves the chains again to bring up another first down.
Rain continues to pour down with 48 seconds left in the first quarter. 1st and 10 from the left hash at the 13. Vonnie Harvin in the game as he gets the carry beside his left guard and gets inside the 5. That was a nice burst and a huge hole between Gene, the left tackle, and McQuaid, the left guard. 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Baldwin goes hurry up. He walks up to his line, calls an audible. Goes back in the gun. Harvin still in the game. He gets the handoff, tries to bounce it outside his left tackle, turns his legs. The offensive line trying to give him a push. Is he in? He's going to be just short. Coach is one of the touchdown, but he's going to be a little bit short. As that'll do it for the end of the first quarter. Baldwin leaves Wolfson 7-0 as it's beginning to be a monsoon on the football field as the rain has came back from earlier today.
Easy, honest pricing, worth my drive. Hi, I'm Larry Burkins from Burkins Chevy in McClenny, and those aren't my words. Those are the words of our customers. We don't play games to sell a vehicle. We do business the right way. All of those incentives you hear other dealers advertising, well, you get those at every Chevy dealer. And if Chevy makes it, we have it or can get it. Come on. So make the easy drive to deal with Burkins Chevy. It's worth your time. Highway 90 in the heart of McClenny or BurkinsChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads. Come on.
The beat down tonight on Wolfson. Too quick.
Guys, you know in the summer, it rains almost every day here in the Sunshine State, and you need to be held responsible for the water that hits off your roof. That's why you need gutters, leaf coverings, and drainage through Northeast Florida Seamless Gutters. Family owned and operated, based out of Bryceville, Florida, Josh Wirtz will install your gutters with great quality at a reasonable price. Contact him today for a free quote at 904-322-2063.
To Baker County.
We start the second quarter on a 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line. Baldwin will be going into the east end zone, lead Wolfson 7-0. Going left to right from our Burkins Chevy broadcast booth. Vonnie Harvin gets the handoff behind his guard and gets it in for the other Baldwin touchdown.
Touchdown! There you go. That's all I'm going to do, y'all. There you go.
As the principal Townsend with the announcement. So if you didn't hear during commercial break, the parade will be next Friday at 12:45 before the Baker County game. As Baldwin leaves Wolfson 13-0 and the monsoon begins. You can see wind streaks. I don't know, what would you call it back in the day? As it wasn't windy all day, Coach, but as O'Neill boots it in. And then the wind just comes out of nowhere. But Baldwin leads it 14-0.
Yeah, I want to thank you for inviting me to join you tonight, Dylan, because we definitely have the best seat in the house.
Yeah, not a bad first time, huh?
Everybody else is involved in a wet T-shirt contest. We are not participants.
Baldwin's in the all-black uniforms. Half the players are in the orange undershirts. Wolfson's in the white tops, blue bottoms, and blue helmets. As we just start the fourth quarter, Baldwin's touchdowns have came from Eric Bugus on a fade and Vonnie Harvin on a 2-yard run. As O'Neill has it from his own 40, will boot this one deep, and it goes over the head of the return man into the end zone. I think that's his first one ever.
I've been telling him, I tell him at practice every time I see him, if he will kick the ball in the end zone on the kickoffs, that the coach will love him. And lo and behold, I believe he did it. Wonderful.
11:55 left in the second quarter. So it's Baldwin 14, Wolfson nothing on his homecoming night as the rain has came down for about the last 20 minutes. Barrington is in at the 3-tech. Nichols in the gun. He's going to keep it to the left side. He's going to be tackled by the linebacker who leads the team in tackles, Malcolm Harvin, the Mike backer. About a gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
Yurdy was hanging on at his to his legs, to his lower half, and Harvin finished him off. Nice dual tackle there.
2nd and 8, 11.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Wolfson got into Baldwin territory before turning it over on downs on their last drive. Nichols gives on a jet sweep to the right side, but nothing doing. The DN McCray seals the edge, and Baldwin's company came behind him. No gain on the 3rd and 8 with 11 minutes left in the second quarter.
Looks like Coach Donald Velvet made a great call there on that play. Octavius Barnes was blitzing on that right side of the offense and just blew that play up.
Nichols, the quarterback for Wolfson, comes out of the huddle on a 3rd and 8. Ball's on the right hash from his own 23-yard line. 2 receivers left. He's going to keep it again this time. Wrapped up from behind as Mason Carter jumps on his back and tackles him. Gain of 2. It'll be a 4th and 6. And it'll be obvious punting situation for Wolfson.
Yeah, Mason Carter did a great job hawking him down from behind and just held on, bring up a 4th down and 6. I don't see a punter on the field. It looks like they may be going forward. I would anticipate a trying to draw us off sides here, trying to get free 5 yards. But the quarterback's coming back into the huddle now to call the play, sent in from the sidelines.
So it's, I'd say 4th and 6, so a free 5 yards would make it 4th and 1 if they do make Baldwin jump. And Baldwin has jumped off, had their fair share of jumping off sides the last couple of weeks. Motion man left to right. 4th and 6 from their own 24. Quarterback keeps it right side and goes absolutely nowhere. Yurdy and Barrington in on the tackle. McCray, I think, was the first man to get there, the defensive end. So Wolfson turns it over again on back-to-back possessions. And Baldwin will have great field position just outside of the red zone.
Yeah, he never penetrated the line. Great job there by Barrington plugging up that D gap.
9:22 left in the second quarter. As at halftime, we'll talk a lot about the Baker game next week and the scores around the Jacksonville area. Brought to you by Mr. Chubby's Wings. It's 1st and 10 for Baldwin, though, at the left hash at the 27-yard line. Krause wants a deep ball, the right side to Malpress, and it's going to be just underthrown at the 5-yard line. It's probably going to be a touchdown, but it was a little underthrown to the wide receiver going down the right side. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Baldwin's receivers are outmatching the Wilson corners, and that ball was just a little underthrown. But Malpress, the one almost came back and made a great catch, recovery, but these conditions are very challenging, to say the least, for throwing and catching the football.
And a lot of these receivers aren't wearing gloves to get a little bit more sticky. On the 2nd and 10, hand off to Harvin, and he is hit hard in the backfield as he got his feet taken out from him. It looks like he lost 1. Make it 3rd and 11 at the 27-yard line. 9 minutes left until halftime.
Yeah, number 20, Colin Maxwell, came through there, looked like untouched, and made a great tackle for loss there on that play. Bonnie didn't have anywhere to go.
3rd and 11, balls at the left hash. Trips right. King, DeBose, and Malpress. Vonnie Harvin is your tailback. Krause looks, fires one, overthrows Malpress wide open over the middle of the field at the 19-yard line. It would sit right between the two linebackers and just overthrew him by a hair. It'll be 4th and 11 coming up for Baldwin's offense.
Like I said, these conditions are making it very challenging throwing and catching the football. That one was a little overthrown. DeJuan was open and would have had a nice gain, possibly the first down on that play. But we'll come back and try it again here on 4th and 10.
8:27 left in the second quarter. Baldwin 14, Wolfson nothing at the left hash. 4th and 10 at the 27-yard line in Wolfson territory. Trips right again. There's an empty backfield, and it looks like Coach Gus Scott and Coach Shields want to go over it as their first timeouts of the first half. Cousin Willie Smokehouse, the official barbecue spot in Baldwin, Florida. I saw a couple of guys yesterday as we were grilling out on early release day. They were coming around with the plastic bag with a big old yellow smiley face, and that means they went by Cousin Willie Smokehouse. All the kids get the slappy fries. I usually get the chicken tenders with a side of seasoned fries with a side of honey mustard, but you really can't go wrong with anything they got over there. Bruce, what would you say?
I've never been disappointed. Cousin Willie's had pulled pork nachos and some fried squash before I went to work Wednesday night. So I could say yes and amen to everything you said.
Back to the field we go. 8:27 until halftime. Baldwin has a 4th and 10, lead 14-0. Krause in the gun, trips right. He looks right, gets flustered, and he goes down. He got away from the first man, but then slips as it rained for about the last 30 minutes. And Wolfson will take over where they turned it over on downs on their previous drive at their own, I'll say, 28-yard line.
Yeah, Jefferson Lamone is, like I said, he's a man, and he was in the backfield pressuring Krause, and he didn't have time to set his feet to even release that ball.
Like I think one of our sponsors, Northeast Florida Seamless Gutters. If you are looking to get a gutter or get a new one, licensed and insured, hit them up for a free estimate with Josh Wirtz at Northeast Florida Seamless Gutters. 1st and 10, Nichols faces pressure, gets around McCray, and he wraps him up and brings him down. I thought that he got rid of it, but I guess it was a pump fake. As he rolls out right, McCray gets the sack. As he got 2 sacks last week against Paxton. As I'm assuming the penalty was on Wolfson because it was declined. Clock continues to run. 7:50 in the second quarter. Baldwin 14, Wolfson nothing.
Yeah, that was a loss of about 8 yards on that play, I thought. But I guess they called it an incomplete pass.
2nd and 10 from Wolfson's 31-yard line. Nichols in the gun with a double wing, 2 receivers left. And ball was on the ground. It was hard to see what happened, but it goes nowhere. 3rd and 10.
I don't think the center ever moved the ball. His hand must have slipped on the ball and it basically killed the play, and he just fell over on it.
False start on Wolfson, so it'll be a 5-yard penalty as it backs him up 5 to a 2nd and 15. It'll be Wolfson ball at their 26-yard line. But, Coach, next week, Baldwin will have a big test next week, Baker County. Something that I don't think Baldwin and Baker have played in the regular season since 2010, as Wolfson's on the field for a 2nd and 16. near the right hash. Nichols for Wolfson, the quarterback. It's a low snap. He picks it up, and the ball's still loose. Baldwin says they have it, and they do. White hat waves that way toward the east end zone, and McCray picks it up. So McCray gets the sack on first down, and he says, I'll get the ball on second down. And it's a 1st and 10. But Coach, next week Baker, lot of attention going toward this game next week against Baker County.
Yeah, Baker County's already wrapped up their district as they beat Ed White last week. They seem to be getting stronger every week. They got a lot of speed, running back, receivers, talented secondary on defense, senior Layden. They get after it pretty well. So it should be interesting. We're going to have to bring our A game.
1st and 10 for Baldwin after the turnover as Hitchens comes to the game. 1st and 10 from the 24. Hitchens leaves one deep to the right side, incomplete to Keen Grant into double coverage. It was a pretty ball, but just couldn't find the open coverage as the safety came over top. Clock was stopped. 7:15 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, Hitchens' first play was a nice ball. They ended double coverage. But like you said, King had an opportunity to catch the ball going up in between two defenders, but unfortunately did not come down with it. It fell incomplete to bring up a second down and 10.
Malpress or King are lined out right on top of the numbers at the 22-yard line. Sam Brooks lines out left. Jahad Miller in the slot to the right side. 2nd and 10. It's the give to Vonnie. Over his right guard, cuts it back over to the left guard behind McQuaid. It's a decent pickup, 4 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 6 with 7 minutes left in the second quarter. Baldwin leaves Wolfson 14-0.
Yeah, with Jefferson Lamont at the 3-tech on the right side and Elijah Robinson at the nose, Baldwin's best line of offense is to run on that left side, but it looks like they're shifting Elijah Robinson over to that left side now. They're making that adjustment. They saw that too.
6:30 left until halftime. 3rd and 6. Hitchens in the shotgun. Vonnie Harvin to his left. Gets the chest high snap. He throws a quick hit. The Malpress goes right between his hands on top of his head at the 10-yard line on the right hash. Incomplete. And I'll bring up 4th and 6.
Yeah, that was a great pass. Hit him in a bad spot, right in the hands, about eye level. And he forgot to look the ball in before he turned to go upfield with it. First things first, you have to catch the ball.
Yeah, Baldwin receivers last week, they caught 11 passes. Malpress got 7 of them for 38 yards last week in the victory over Paxton, 41-0. But it's 4th and 6. Hitchens has trips to his right. Harvin in the backfield. He gets the chest high snap, takes a 3-step drop, fires again. Malpress, this time on a slant, open on the right hash, overthrown, incomplete. And we'll turn over on downs again. 6:15 left until our Mr. Chubby's halftime report. Baldwin leads Wolfson 14-0.
And Wilson to take over on their own 15-yard line. That would have been a tough catch for Dewan Malpress on that play. Hitchens threw it in there. He unloaded it. That would have been a tough catch, but had he made it, he could have walked into the end zone. Pretty decent coverage there on top of him.
I'd like to thank one of our sponsors, Papa John's Pizza in Baldwin, Florida. Not only pizza, but wings, subs, breadsticks, salads, and a whole lot more. Right in the heart of Baldwin, Florida on US 90 at the old intersection of 301. It's Papa John's Pizza in Baldwin, Florida. So Wolfson will take over 1st and 10 from their own 18-yard line. 6:15 left until our Mr. Chubby's halftime report. Baldwin's 2 touchdowns have came from Eric Buggus on a fade that went about 5 yards, and Vonnie Harvin, who punched it in on a 1-yard run. Nichols in for Wolfson at quarterback. It's a jet sweep to the right side. He's tackled for 2 yards. Sam Brooks in on the tackle, the corner on the left side as Wolfson moves right to left from our Burkins Chevrolet broadcast booth. It'll be 2nd and 7 for Wolfson at their 23-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like both linebackers are in on that play, as Malcolm Harvin was also in pursuit from the inside out. Great job, the 2 linebackers bringing him down after a 4-yard gain.
5:30 left in the second quarter, 2nd and 7. No receiver, so Wolfson goes double wing, double tight end. Nichols gets, now quarterback keeps it, and he's wrapped up. And it's a ring around Rosie. Mason Carter brings him down on the right side on the numbers around the 35-yard line, and it'll be 3rd and an inch for Wolfson.
Yeah, he was almost thrown by Mason Carter across the line to gain for a first down, but came up just a little short. Looks like they had the 1 receiver up top this time. I look for the same play here. Oh, the ball's on the ground.
Ball's loose, and it's recovered by Wolfson, luckily on the 3rd and inch. So they lose 3 on a 4th and 4. And, boy, this ball, the rain has stopped, but the field has been wet all day from the rain.
Yes, there's a lot of water fell in a short period of time, even though it's not raining now, but it's all makes the ball awful sloppy out there.
4:15 left in the second quarter. 4th and 4. Wolfson deep in their own territory at the 26. Quarterback keeps it right side in the defensive end. The nose tackle rather. Yurdy wraps him up and brings him down with a nice arm tackle. And Baldwin again will have great field position. Let's hope they put it in the end zone to take a 21-0 lead after turning it over on downs the last couple of drives.
Yeah, Nichols pulled that after faking that jet sweep, but Yurdy was not fooled at all as he brought him down for a nice loss on the play. Baldwin take over, looking to punch it in again before the half. Taking over on about the 17-yard line.
Be about 4:06 left until halftime. Baldwin 14, Wolfson nothing. Hitchens in the game again. Left the left hash. 1st and 10 at the 20. Hitchens gets the ball at his knees, gives it to Harvin behind his right tackle. And, well, he got a couple yards and got a couple yards after contacts. Be about a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, he had about a 4-yard gain, then ended up with a nice push from behind. Ended up with probably 6.5 yards on the play. Great way to start a series on first down.
3:30 left until halftime. 2nd and 4. 4 receiver set. Harvin in the backfield. Hitchens gets the snap belt high. Huge hole from Harvin. Bounces off a defender and gets into the end zone for another Baldwin touchdown. So Buggus got the first one, and Harvin has got the last 2. Vonnie Harvin, who got a touchdown last week, gets another one. Make it 2 rather. And O'Neal is on the field for the extra point. Krause is your holder. Ellsbury is the long snapper. And the whistle blows before the snap.
Off the field for some reason.
So Laws will come into the game for McCray on the right end on for the extra point. He probably has an equipment issue. Looks like it was a slow snap as the ends got around, but O'Neal was still able to boot it in through the uprights as Baldwin leaves Wolfson 21-0. 3:22 left in the second quarter. Let's pause 30 seconds with a word from BJ Ruiz.
Protecting your investments and your family is essential when things go wrong. That's why you need home and auto insurance. BJ Ruiz here with Farm Bureau Insurance in Duval County, where we have been providing insurance policies for clients like you the last 60 years. We have competitive rates, offer bundle discounts. Please call BJ Ruiz for a free quote today with Farm Bureau Insurance, 904-655-4347. Real people, real service. Farm Bureau.
But I look for it's just a team and he's like,
3:22 left until halftime. Baldwin leaves Wolfson 21-0 on this homecoming game. O'Neal will be booting it left to right from our Burkins Chevy broadcast booth as the whistle blows for some reason and the referee picks up the tee and moves it up 5 yards. So O'Neal will be booting it from his own 45 in the neon cleats and high red socks that lie just below his knees. Baldwin's 5-2, looking to go 6-2 before playing Baker County next week. As O'Neal boots it away, it's a high short kick, bounces at the 10, scooped up by the Wolfson returner, and he's tackled by Skidmore and number 19, Mason Carter. That was Richard Grooms on the return. So Wolfson will take over at their own 24-yard line. 3:17 left in the half. Baldwin leads Wolfson 21-0. As at this point, Baldwin and their season 5-2, number 3 seed in 4A. You hope to win the next 2 games, one tonight and the next week against Baker County, to gain points as Barnes comes in on a blitz. Jet sweep to the left side, and he's wrapped up and tackled at the 25-yard line on top of the painted numbers. That was number 57 for Baldwin, Yanni Lloyd. Looks like it's one of the JV players getting a lot of time tonight for Baldwin. As Baldwin has about a core of 25 varsity players. And the JV season wrapped up a few weeks ago with their first winning season since 2013. 12 rather. 2.5 minutes left in the first half. 2nd and 10 for Wolfson from their 25. Motion man right to left. Quarterback keeper Nichols turns it upfield. He's tackled from behind by Buggus and Cortez Martinez. Gain of 1. 3rd and 9. Timeout, I think, from Baldwin, and it's 2:20 left until halftime. I think this timeout brought to you by the official sponsor of Baldwin Athletics, Commercial Metals. You can see their logo under the Baldwin scoreboard now as they not only sponsor the football team, but all of Baldwin Athletics, as especially during a time of COVID and Baldwin isn't able to fundraise like they have wanted to within the last, it's almost been 2 years now if you think about it. Commercial Metals gave a nice piece of finance to Baldwin, and we can't thank them enough for what they've done to the Baldwin athletic program. As Baldwin leads Wolfson 21-0 on this homecoming game, and Wolfson will have 3rd and 9 from their 25-yard line. They only been able to get into Baldwin territory once tonight, as Baldwin's in the all black. Wolfson is in the white tops and blue bottoms. Baldwin 5-2, Wolfson 2-5. 2-6. Baldwin had the first game canceled against Ed White. Left hash, 3rd and 8. Nichols gets the belt tie snap, rolls out, whips one in the flat. He's wide open, but no one was there, and it was overthrown. Clock will stop with 2:14. It'll be 4th and 9 for Wolfson's offense.
Yeah, he had too much pressure to get any kind of good delivery on that ball, and he just slung it out there and was nowhere near his receiver, which his receiver was wide open. So if he could have got it to him, it would have been interesting. Got a punter on the field now, number 17.
So Wolfson will punt for the first time tonight. Number 17, Paul Heibel. 4th and 8 from their 27-yard line. And this is a Wolfson team that scored a lot of points in the last 2 weeks. 44 against Stanton and 38 against Crescent City. Although those 38 points weren't enough, as they lost 62-38. It was a nice boot as Heibel boots it to Baldwin's 42-yard line. It rolls out of bounds on Baldwin's sideline. So Baldwin will have the 2-minute drill. 2:09 left until our Mr. Chubby's halftime report. 21-0 is your score. And Coach Bruce, it's been a couple of turnover on downs for Baldwin in Wolfson territory, but this Baldwin offense has been able to run it and throw it a little bit tonight so far.
Yeah, it's Hitchens has brought a little spark in here, and Bonnie Harvin is finding some seams and making the most of every carry he gets. I look for Hitchens to eventually pull this ball, and I see him going to the end zone eventually.
1st and 10 from Baldwin's 42. Motion man left to right, Edwards. It's DeBose and the Wildcat. He almost loses the ball at midfield. Penalties thrown. Still dicing through the defenders. He finds another hole around the left side to the 20, to the 10, and he gets into the end zone. Touchdown. But there's a penalty at the line of scrimmage, and the white hat waves his hands, and it's a holding call. So an excellent run from Armel DeBose, a run he did similar against Stanton in the kickoff classic. Made a couple men miss, went right up the guts on a 58-yard run, but it'll be wiped away on a holding call. So that'll be nice one for the highlight reel, but won't count for the scoreboard.
True, as long as you don't see the hanky on the field, it'll be a nice highlight. A 58-yard run negated by that holding call.
Northeast Florida Painting and Pressure Washing. For any pressure washing or painting needs on the west side of Jacksonville, go to Northeast Florida Painting and Pressure Washing. Contact Randy Shepard. Get his email, randyshepard@comcast.net. 1:54 left until halftime. 1st and about 17. Brooks in the empty formation is the quarterback. He sweeps around the left side, gets past the first down marker. Continues to run into the Wolfson territory. He's tackled at the 38-yard line in front of Wolfson's bench. Excellent run of about 28 yards. Just under 2 minutes left in the first half. As the whistle blows, looks like someone's hurt on Wolfson's sideline as the athletics trainer wraps. Will run across the field to assist the Baldwin player. Looks like, I'm assuming it's Sam Brooks, as I don't see him jogging back. There he is now. He's coming back on his own power. Probably a little stinger or lost his breath for a split second. Either way, it'll be Baldwin ball 1st and 10 at Wolfson's 37. 1:44 left until halftime. 21-0. Baldwin leaves Wolfson on homecoming tonight. Clock runs. DeBose in the gun, empty backfield. It's a power right side, follows his left guard, McQuaid. Bounces and spins. Tackled on the painted numbers on the right side at the 32-yard line. 1:20 left until halftime. And it'll be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, he could have slipped that one defender. He would have had a first down and then some. But he got 4 yards out of it.
Harvin this time in the Wildcats. 2nd and 6. He gets around the edge on the left side. Finds some room. Gets past the first down marker. Finds some more room. Gets inside the 20. Tackled around the 15-yard line. Waiting for the official referee spot. It'll be the 14. 58 seconds left. Baldwin 21. Wolfson nothing.
Yeah, Bonnie evaded a great tackle there by one of their big guys, number 52. Jefferson Lamont, but Bonnie didn't let him get a good shot on him, and he slipped right past him.
Bonnie gets it again on a 1st and 10, finds a couple lead blockers, and finds the end zone again. Touchdown number 3 for Vonnie Harvin as Baldwin perfectly executes outside of one penalty on the 2-minute drill. So our male on the first play gets a 58-yard run. He gets called back for holding. And after a couple of runs from Vonnie Harvin and Sam Brooks, Harvin punches it in for about 14 yards with 40 seconds left in the first half. Baldwin leads Wolfson 27-0. Snap's good. Hold us down. The kick is blocked. And it's no good, so it'll be 27-0. Baldwin over Wolfson. This ball is 30 seconds with a word from Burkins Chevrolet.
Easy, honest pricing, worth my drive. Hi, I'm Larry Burkins from Burkins Chevy in McClenny, and those aren't my words. Those are the words of our customers. We don't play games to sell a vehicle. We do business the right way. All of those incentives you hear other dealers advertising, well, you get those at every Chevy dealer. And if Chevy makes it, we have it or can get it. Come on. So make the easy drive to deal with Burkins Chevy. It's worth your time. Highway 90 in the heart of McClenny or BurkinsChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads. Come on.
40 seconds left until halftime. Baldwin 27, Wolfson nothing on this homecoming night. O'Neal will boot it away left to right from his own 40 and drops it right into the open spot at the 20. One hop picked up from the Wolfson return man, Richard Grooms, and Yurdy comes up with the tackle at the 27-yard line. So Wolfson will try to put something together as this Baldwin defense has played outstanding outside of one drive where they got into Baldwin territory. As they have just a little bit of time. Well, I believe Wolfson has 2 timeouts with 35 seconds left to spare in the first half. Down 27. One receiver split out right. 2 balls at the right hash. 1st and 10 from Wolfson's own 28. It's a quick hitch. First completed pass tonight as Octavius Barnes, Malcolm Harvin, and the defensive back Donald Velvet push him out of bounds. Clock will stop with 27 seconds. Gain of 8. 2nd and 2 coming up for Wolfson.
Yeah, Cortez Martinez was right in the middle of all that too. It's hard to see on all the way on Wolfson's sidelines, the other side of the field, but he did a great job keeping that ball in front of him and wrapping up, making the tackle as his friends came in and pushed him out of bounds.
2nd, and it looks like I'll say a long one. Wolfson ball their 33. Octo walks up for a blitz, now walks back. Quarterback tucks and runs, and he's wrapped up and tackled on top of the first down marker. Clock will stop That was Yurdy, the nose tackle, who got the quarterback. But quarterback needed one. Nichols for Wolfson got 2. And it's 1st and 10 with 20 seconds left in the first half. Wolfson ball at their 37-yard line.
A lot of pressure coming on Nichols on that play, and he just kind of ducked and ran low to the ground and was able to break through, get that first down. But Yurdy didn't give up. He hawked him down and brought him down at the 35-yard line. Nice play by Yurdy.
Whether it's a bank loan, mortgage insurance, life insurance, estate planning, or safe and secure banking services, BJ Ruiz is ready to assist you whatever your phase of life. Give him a call today at 904-655-4347 or email bj.ruiz@ffbic.com. 20 seconds left till halftime. 2nd and 10 for Wolfson at their 36, and it's another pre-snap penalty. Usually means it's going to be a false start on Wolfson's offensive line. Been pretty penalty-free so far the first half. And I'll probably say that, and there'll be a lot of penalties in the second half. But quick first half, and I actually say it's all sides on Baldwin, so the marker, man, goes up 5. But it's been a pretty seamless first half for Baldwin so far. Offense has been able to run the ball. Defense has held its own. As Nichols for Wolfson on the 1st and 5. Sands and shotgun. He slips right in the mud. Looks like he slips on the banana peel and gets back to the original line of scrimmage at his 37-yard line. Clock stops. Timeout. Wolfson with 14 seconds left. But Coach Bruce, I don't think Baldwin could have played any better in this first half.
Aside from that one series where they had 2 long gains, and then the defense, it bent just a little, but it did not break and has held very tough the entire first half, with the exception of about 2 plays.
Licensed and insured. Josh Wirtz and Jack Denmark will install your gutters at your residential property from the west side, Nassau, Baldwin, and all the way up to Fernandina Beach. Northeast Florida seamless gutters will go wherever work needs to be done. Call Josh Wirtz today for a free quote at 904-322-2063. 2nd and 10 after the Wolfson timeout. 14 seconds left in the half. Wolfson trails Baldwin 27-0. Knee-high snap, quarterback faces pressure. Man open in the middle of the field. He's wrapped up and tackled from Octavius Barnes at the middle of the field at the 44-yard line. And it looks like that'll do it to wrap up the first half. So Baldwin goes to the field house into the east end zone where they lead Wolfson 27 on this homecoming night. As when we come back, we will give you scores around the Jacksonville area. And we will give you a preview of what should be a showdown next week between Baldwin and Baker County. For me, Dylan Denmark, my partner, Bruce Ruiz, you're listening to the live Baldwin Sports broadcast sponsored by Burkins Chevrolet.
Guys, you know in the summer, it rains almost every day here in the Sunshine State, and you need to be held responsible for the water that hits off your roof. That's why you need gutters, leaf coverings, and drainage through Northeast Florida Seamless Gutters. Family owned and operated, based out of Bryceville, Florida, Josh Wirtz will install your gutters with great quality at a reasonable price. Contact him today for a free quote at 904-322-2063.
Burkins Chevrolet in McClenny is family owned and operated. We have low overhead. That means you save money. We'll take the time to make your deal work, whether it be financing, monthly payments, or your trade value. At Burkins Chevrolet in McClenny, we want to sell you this car, your next car, and everybody you know a car. I know to do that, I got to get the first one right. Come see me. I'm Larry Burkins at Burkins Chevrolet, Highway 90 in the heart of McClenny, or BurkinsChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads. Come on.
Protecting your investments and your family is essential when things go wrong. That's why you need home and auto insurance. BJ Ruiz here with Farm Bureau Insurance in Duval County, where we have been providing insurance policies for clients like you the last 60 years. We have competitive rates, offer bundle discounts. Please call BJ Ruiz for a free quote today with Farm Bureau Insurance, 904-655-4347. Real people, real service. Farm Bureau.
Come enjoy all your favorite barbecue at Cousin Willie's Smokehouse, located in Baldwin. We are open 11 to 8, Tuesday through Saturday, with daily specials, including kids eat free every Wednesday with an adult dinner entree purchase. We serve fresh pork, brisket, ribs, turkey, and more, with a ton of homemade sides and your favorite sauces. Come hang with Cousin Willie.
Hey guys, Dylan Denmark here, and I came home a couple weeks ago and I saw that the driveway was looking really, really nice, and I knew that my dad didn't have a pressure washer, but I knew that he had got it somewhere, and that was Randy Shepard from Northeast Florida Painting and Pressure Washing. Located on the west side of Jacksonville, you can contact Randy Shepard at randyshepard@comcast.net or hit his phone number at 904-591-7579.
Megan and Aiden.
Welcome back to halftime as Baldwin goes through the homecoming court, as we will now look at a couple of scores from around the Jacksonville area. Baldwin leaves Wolfson 27-0 so far. Vonnie Harvin has 3 touchdowns and Eric Buggist has 1. Aiden O'Neill is 3 for 4 on the extra point. As for Florida Georgia this weekend, they have to split security and the cops. So some games are tonight, and a lot of the games will still go on tomorrow. But for the games tonight that are going on right now, Ed White leads Terry Parker 16-0 at half. Stanton trails Keystone 16-0. That game also at half. Bishop Kenny on top of Paxton 35-0. Raines is hosting Columbia. Raines on top of Columbia 21-6. Riverside, more known for a long time as Lee. Riverside leads Westside 7-0 in the second quarter. Bishop Snyder trails St. Edwards 13-0. Scoreless between Atlantic Coast and First Coast. That game just started in the first quarter. PK Young, a team Baldwin saw in their third game. PK Young leads Providence 14-6 in the game that just started between the two private schools of University Christian and Episcopal. And for the meaningful games that are impactful for Baldwin tomorrow, Andrew Jackson, a 4A team that beat Baldwin a couple weeks ago, will go on the road to West Nassau. I would think that Andrew Jackson would be the favorites. But if the playoffs were to end today, West Nassau would come to Baldwin for the first playoff game. So that game would be played in 2 weeks. That's if the playoffs were to end today. But there's still a lot of football to be played between today, tomorrow, and next week, as Baldwin is the 3 seed in the RPI rankings. Jackson is the 4, and West Nassau is the 6. So the playoffs work. Number 1 and 2 get a first-round bye. 3 host 6, 4 host 5, and a 4A region 1 that Baldwin's in that has 12 teams in it. So it looks like Baldwin has a safe spot in the playoffs. The only question is who will they play and where will it be played? But one thing that looks like it is for sure that's going to happen is Bowles will be the number 1 seed. Bowles was one of the 2 teams left that were undefeated in Jacksonville, went down to Gainesville and lost last Friday night. and a squeaker 14-7. But, you ask Coach Shields, Coach Rob Shields, that is, I keep asking him about, the playoffs and are you looking at standings and things like that. And he always tells me the story of when old William was BJ Ruiz, for the ones that don't know who I'm talking about. And Steve Shields was running the program a couple of years ago. And BJ and Steve had all the numbers crunched up, and they were set that it was going to be Florida High. And then the standings come out Sunday afternoon, and they find out it's going to be Taylor County. So Coach Rod Shields spent an entire Saturday preparing for Florida High. And it ended up being Taylor County in the game that Baldwin barely lost. So Coach Shields no longer partakes in finding out who his playoff team will be until he gets the standings. But that's still a funny story, especially if you know Rod Shields and his personality.
Yeah, Coach Rob says, "Hey, we're gonna play this football game, and we'll let them do what they do, and they'll tell us who to play, and then we'll do what we do and prepare for them." He won't anticipate too much that may or may not happen.
So tonight, Baldwin leads Wolfson 27-0 as there's about 10 minutes left in the third quarter. As Baldwin goes through the homecoming court, Brian Foster gets the senior
2021
nomination for the King.
Queen is Kayla Robinson.
And Kayla Robinson gets the queen. So that's your king and queen for Baldwin this year. The parade will be next Friday, as the parade was canceled today with the weather just not partaking.
Congratulations again to all the representatives.
And not being able to be held, but it will happen next Friday before Baldwin plays Baker County. As it rained most of the day. It rained for about 20, 30 minutes late in the first, early in the second. A monsoon came through, but it's perfect weather now. The lights are on. The sun has been gone, and it hardly hasn't came out at all today for this beautiful homecoming night tonight between Baldwin and Wolfson, where Baldwin leads Wolfson 27-0 as we're about halfway through at halftime. As we'll take a quick break, come back, and we'll have you ready for the second half.
Guys, you know in the summer, it rains almost every day here in the Sunshine State, and you need to be held responsible for the water that hits off your roof. That's why you need gutters, leaf coverings, and drainage through Northeast Florida Seamless Gutters. Family owned and operated, based out of Briceville, Florida, Josh Wirtz will install your gutters with great quality at a reasonable price. Contact him today for a free quote at 904-322-2063.
Burkins Chevrolet in McClenny is family owned and operated. We have low overhead. That means you save money. We'll take the time to make your deal work. Whether it be financing, monthly payments, or your trade value, at Burkins Chevrolet in McClenny, we want to sell you this car, your next car, and everybody you know a car. I know to do that, I got to get the first one right. Come see me. I'm Larry Burkins at Burkins Chevrolet, Highway 90 in the heart of McClenny, or BurkinsChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads. Come on.
Protecting your investments and your family is essential when things go wrong. That's why you need home and auto insurance. BJ Ruiz here with Farm Bureau Insurance in Duval County, where we have been providing insurance policies for clients like you the last 60 years. We have competitive rates, offer bundle discounts. Please call BJ Ruiz for a free quote today with Farm Bureau Insurance, 904-655-4347. Real people, real service. Farm Bureau.
Come enjoy all your favorite barbecue at Cousin Willie's Smokehouse, located in Baldwin. We are open 11 to 8, Tuesday through Saturday, with daily specials, including kids eat free every Wednesday with an adult dinner entree purchase. We serve fresh pork, brisket, ribs, turkey, and more, with a ton of homemade sides and your favorite sauces. Come hang with Cousin Willie.
Hey guys, Dylan Denmark here, and I came home a couple weeks ago and I saw that the driveway was looking really, really nice, and I knew that my dad didn't have a pressure washer, but I knew that he had got it somewhere, and that was Randy Shepard from Northeast Florida Painting and Pressure Washing. Located on the west side of Jacksonville, you can contact Randy Shepard at randyshepard@comcast.net or hit his phone number at 904-591-7579. Welcome back to the end of the Mr. Chevy's Halftime Report, where you can catch all the football games this weekend, including the Florida-Georgia game this Saturday at the 3 locations on the west side right off Chafee Road in Fleming Island, or their newest location in Ponte Vedra Beach. Baldwin leads Wolfson 27-0 as we are about to start the second quarter. Both teams warm up in their end zone. But it's been all Baldwin, led by the defense and led by 3 touchdowns from LaVarn Vonnie Harvin. Eric Buggus got the first touchdown on a 7-yard fade, and Vonnie Harvin got a 1-yard punch to the end zone, 14-yarder, and got another one that was about 20 yards. And Baldwin has led this game in its entirety as Coach Shields walks from the goal line to his sideline as the Baldwin team in the all-black will now jog to the sideline. And Wolfson in the white tops and blue bottoms will huddle up in their west end zone before they head to their sideline. But it's been all Baldwin with a 5-2 record with 2 losses against Episcopal and Jackson a few weeks ago. Baldwin's had a great season so far with a really young team after losing 20 seniors a year ago.
And next week will be the regular season finale against Baker County, a Baker team that's, as always, physical up front, has big bodies, and has a couple of really good athletes that are special on the outside. Baker won its district last week against Ed White, winning that game 36-16. And Ed White's been a team that has been down the last couple of years, but looks really good this season. A team that Baldwin was supposed to play in week 1 was canceled, with Baldwin shutting down the school from COVID way back in late August, early September. As both teams come onto the field, Baldwin will receive the opening kickoff to start the second half with a 27-0 lead over Wolfson.
I have a feeling y'all are working for this. Yeah, I know. I couldn't get away. That's a money maker.
Looks like Jihad Miller will receive the kick, standing around his own 20. Armel DeBose standing around the 30-yard line in front of Miller. 5 men on the front line, 4 in the second at the 40. As the clock continues to run out, referees now come onto the field. I'd like to thank all the sponsors that helped put this broadcast together. Burkins Chevrolet, Cousin Willie Smokehouse, Papa Sean's Pizza, Farm Bureau Insurance Agent BJ Ruiz, Mr. Chubby's Wings, Northeast Florida Seamless Gutters, and Northeast Florida Painting and Pressure Washing. As the kick, it's a line drive straight to Jihad Miller, and he went down on a left knee before, or as he caught it, and he tried to take it off. So Baldwin takes over at their own 15. Krause started the game at quarterback, but Hitchens has gotten most of the snaps after about the third drive. As Baldwin huddles just below the painted numbers at the 30-yard line and jog to the field. Looks like don't see a quarterback. Looks like they'll roll the Wildcats. Sam Brooks as Octavius Barnes jogs to the field. The sophomore linebacker looks like they're still missing a player as Sam Brooks. As Dixon, the guard, wasn't in the game. Had the right personnel on the outside, just missing one guy out front. Motion man right to left. 1st and 10 at their own 15. Edwards gets past the 20, past the 30, finds some room, past the 40, past midfield. It's King Grant, actually, and he's out of bounds at the 30-yard line. And penalties thrown at the 38-yard line of Wolfson territory. And, boy, King Grant turned on the Jets, and I thought he was going for a second.
Yeah, he looked like he was shot out of a rocket there. He come up this sideline. The defender put forth a great effort to get an angle on him and just barely get him to step on that white line.
Penalties waived off. It's 1st and 10 for Baldwin at the 29 of Wolfson. First play in the second half, Baldwin leads Wolfson 27-0 on homecoming tonight. Brooks in the gun. This time it's a quarterback keeper. Fake jet sweep left to right. Brooks runs around the left side, tackled inside the 20. I'll say the 16-yard line. Another first down for Baldwin. And White Hat moves for a first down at the 16-yard line.
Little misdirection or a QB read there, and he pulled the ball and made a great move on this corner out here and was able to pick up the first down.
1st and 10 at the 16. Sam Brooks, another quarterback keeper, left side, follows his blocker, gets around the 10, high steps into the end zone for another Baldwin touchdown. It's Thomas Ellsbury that led the way as he pulled around the left side, and it's now 33-0 Baldwin in favor over Wolfson. And Baldwin puts together a 85-yard drive in less than a minute to start the second half. And no sign of a kicker, and it looks like Baldwin will go for two to go up 35-0, and if it does, there will be a running clock. As Malpress is the Wildcat quarterback, trips right with a tight end right. Malpress keeps it, and he's in for the 2-point conversion. Now Baldwin leads. Dewan Malpress punches it in on the quarterback keeper along the right side. And Baldwin leads Wolfson 35-0.
Point lead in the second half. This is school night. That's true, yeah. How many of these guys are going to be here tomorrow? That's the question. I'll be. How many teachers are going to be out tomorrow? A lot more than that. Gotcha. Like you didn't know it was a running job. That's what I told you. No, that we talked about.
So Aiden O'Neill will boot it right to left. Just about a minute into the second half, Baldwin leads Wolfson 35-0. After the touchdown from Sam Brooks and the 2-point conversion from Dewan Malpress. O'Neill boots it away. Grooms gets it from around his own 15. Gets around the left side. He's wrapped up from his left ankle. Looks like it's number 28, Trent Edwards. And the running clock begins. 11 minutes left in the third quarter. Wolfson ball at their 28-yard line. So this is exactly what the coaches wanted. Now they can put a couple of guys in and rest some of their starters. As Presley Gross comes in. Barrington's still playing the 3-tech. Ball's at the left hash, 1st and 10. Wolfson ball. Quarterback, it's a jet sweep right side, and Octavius Barnes looked like he extends his arms and still makes the tackle with a pulling guard coming his way. Gain of 2.
Looked like Malcolm Harvin finished that up on top as Octavius Barnes was underneath making that stop.
Second and 8, 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Baldwin leads 35-0. Ball goes right up the right hash. Nichols on the quarterback keeper. Just inside his tackle. Gets 2 again. It'll be 3rd and 6. So I don't know if you were listening to the game last week, Coach Bruce, but last week I was giving Devin, who's not here tonight, a couple of trivia questions. Would you think be able to answer a couple of trivia questions, yes or no?
Probably not, but I'll give it a shot. You never know.
So do you know much? I know you're a Florida State fan, but do you know much Florida, Georgia history?
Florida, Georgia. I've been to a few games. It's a great rivalry. You never know who will win. The team that's favored to win may not necessarily win. With Jacksonville being a neutral site, it's always a tough call, I tell you. A lot of those kids have been recruited by both schools, so it makes it rather interesting.
Nichols got the quarterback keeper to the right side, and Tez got a nice pop on his back. Yeah, so I was going to ask you, you were mentioning the neutral site. So ever since 1933, the Florida-Georgia game has been in Jacksonville. The first game was in 1904. It took place in Macon. One game took place in Tampa, and then there were a couple of games before it took over in Jacksonville where it's been home and home as the clock will stop with 8:25. But in what was the year? It was 1928. Florida got its first win over Georgia, and it was not in Jacksonville. Can you tell me the city that Florida got its first win over Georgia? And it's within a couple hours of Jacksonville. I'll give you that hint. So it took place obviously in Southeast and a couple hours from Jacksonville, Florida. Would you know the answer to that?
Absolutely not. I mean, Orlando's the obvious spot to pick, but Daytona is, possibly. But yeah, no, that was approaching 90 years ago.
Yeah, so the game that took place for Florida's first win over Georgia was actually Savannah, Georgia. Savannah, Georgia hosted 2 Florida-Georgia games. One was then, and the other game was a 0-0 tie. I believe that game was like 1930, something like that. A game that's happened every year, but Wolfson has a 4th and 4 at their 35. Motion man goes left to swing pass. It's intercepted by Cortez Martinez, and he gets another one, a pick 6. The second one on the year. It looked like the same one he got against Bradford County 2 weeks ago. And Baldwin leads this thing 41-0. 8 minutes left in the third quarter. So there you go. That's a little fun fact for you, Florida, Georgia. You can tell all your buddies that at everybody's tomorrow morning.
That was a little before my time, no doubt. But on that swing pass out intended for Jordan Bell, Cortez Martinez just plays his responsibilities exactly the way you're supposed to, and he jumped that. And like you said, another pick 6 for Tez. Number 2, great kid. Good to see him have success.
Yeah, and he's only a junior, and he's only a junior. He'll be back for another year next year. So he not only has the future look bright for him last season, but and Baldwin misses the extra point, makes it 41-0.
You better put his kickoff in the end zone. It'd be a good time for him to redeem himself on that missed extra point, and be a good time for him to put one in the end zone here on the kickoff again. Redeem himself after that miss.
Clock continues to run. As you only need 35 for a running clock, it's 41-0. 6:30 left in the third. As I look just above the Commercial Metals official sponsor Baldwin Athletics scoreboard, and O'Neal boots one away. Will it get to the end zone? It will not. It's caught at the 10-yard line. Grooms will get it out to the right hash and stuck by Presley Gross and Octavius Barnes at the 30-yard line at the middle of the field.
Fields the kickoff at the 10-yard line. Turns about 20 yards up to 30.
Stop the clock now.
And it'll be a water break. Brought to you by the Commercial Metals, the official sponsor of Baldwin Athletics. And also like to thank Papa Sean's Pizza, the only pizza place in Baldwin, Florida for any pizza, specialty pizza. Get their to-go specials. Meatball subs, salads, breadsticks.
Repeat that, please.
And a whole lot more. So a pretty good performance from Baldwin as they look to get back-to-back shutouts, Coach Bruce. And, the big ones next week, Baker County. They only have 2 losses, one of Vieira, a team out of the Beach, and the other was to Mandarin by a single point, so no shame in that. But, Mandarins are Baker rather. They are who they are. They changed coaches a few years ago, Coach Mays. But, they're big up front. They got a lot of athletes on the outside. They got 3 special dudes that can tote the rock, as Wolfson has 1st and 10 at their 31. Quarterback keeps it behind his left guard, falls forward for a gain of 6. But I've been looking forward to this Baldwin Baker game, and it's been 11 years since I came here for a game that mattered. And if Baldwin, as you said, Baldwin plays their A game, what they're supposed to be, it should be a good one here at our 4-acre field.
Yeah, the last time they played a regular season game, they were both in the same district, and I believe Jordan Mullis was the quarterback at Baldwin. He's down on the sidelines now, and those were some very good ball games.
2nd and 5, 5 minutes left in the third. Quarterback, 5-step drop. Has a man open and goes through his hands just shy of midfield. It was number 3 on the receiving end, Ryan Horton. Clock continues to run with a Baldwin 41-0 lead. But either way, if Baldwin does come up short next week, the playoff seedings might still change. But it's still been a really successful season for Baldwin. All things considered, losing 20-plus seniors from a year ago. You're playing, as Coach Velvet told me, a lot of babies, a lot of puppies out there. And usually, when you speak of a young young varsity team, you usually think of juniors. As this one's intercepted, Laws runs it back at the 10. He's into the end zone for a touchdown, but it's going to be called back on a crackback block. And there's another penalty, both right around the 30-yard line. And then they're called one on a illegal hit, and they might get Aiden Skidmore for taunting as he was jumping around. I don't think he meant to, but looks like his motions got just a little too carried away. It was around the defender. It wasn't toward the defender, but looks like it'll be called back. But still a great play from number 21, Laws.
That was a great play on Laws and a great run. Unfortunately, the block that the penalty was called on used to be a great play, but for the safety of the players, the rules have been changed. And that's a play where you have to just throw your hands up and place yourself in between the defender and not try to hit with malicious intent. But I think Aiden Skidmore was basically wanting them to call that off. I don't know that he was really taunting, but it could have been perceived as such. Hopefully that's not what he was doing, and he was just trying to get the referee to call off the penalty.
Yeah, it didn't look like he did, but the referee was right there, calls the penalty. It was unsportsmanlike. As the clock ticks down to, unnecessary roughness. With 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter, clock runs as the ball be moved back toward midfield. But as I was saying before, Baldwin season, all things considered, a young team, and usually a varsity young team is a team full of sophomores and juniors. Well, this team is young with freshmen and sophomore, and we mentioned earlier in this broadcast, a lot of this team is a lot of sophomores, and you look at some of these dudes, and boy, the future is bright, especially when you look at the sophomores and a lot of these 8th graders that are in the middle of an undefeated season. That game for middle school Tuesday against Lake Shore. If you're able to make it out to Lake Shore Middle School Tuesday, both teams undefeated. The winner goes to the playoffs. Loser will have one more game, but as Edwards gets around the right side, Traylon Brown, and gets a few yards, but Baldwin's a really young team, and you've been around here a lot longer than I have, and there's very few times where you can see the future's bright, but it definitely looks like it here.
It really does. like you say, what has transpired here in this year with this group of kids and the lack of experience that a lot of them have is really incredible what they've been able to accomplish up to this point. And the future does look very bright. I know the coaches are excited about things to come.
Under a minute left in the third quarter, Baldwin leads Wolfson 41-0. It's a quarterback keeper. And he's slung down at the 40-yard line. And there's a late penalty near midfield. It was number 28 on the carry, Trent Edwards. And it looked like it was a horse collar, but and it's a personal foul on the defense. I think the corner pushed the wide receiver, the Baldwin wide receiver, all the way to the Baldwin sideline. As that'll do it for the end of the third quarter. We head to the fourth. Baldwin leads Wolfson on homecoming, 41-0.
Easy, honest pricing, worth my drive. Hi, I'm Larry Burkins from Burkins, Chevy in McClenny, and those aren't my words. Those are the words of our customers. We don't play games to sell a vehicle. We do business the right way. All of those incentives you hear other dealers advertising, well, you get those at every Chevy dealer. And if Chevy makes it, we have it or can get it. Come on. So make the easy drive to deal with Burkins Chevy. It's worth your time. Highway 90 in the heart of McClenny or BurkinsChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads. Come on.
We live across the street from them. And their daughter's in the 10th grade. She turned 16, and I don't. She was in their son's in college. The kids are different. Caleb did well over at Douglas Anderson. Bad a girl. Yeah, he's not mad.
Start of the fourth quarter, Baldwin leads Wolfson 41-0 in the homecoming game. Baldwin tries to get its back-to-back shutout victories. Last week, Paxton 41-0 as Edwards slips at the 35 on a 1st and 10. Gets right around 10 yards.
Leaves and Laws enters the game. Looks like he's going to take the snap.
So now Laws, for the first time this season, will be the Wildcat quarterback. 1st and 10 at the 36. And it'll be a false start. Someone jumped the gun there on the line. Just a little too early.
Looks like the snap may have been a little slow, which with the entire line moving before the ball was snapped. And might have been a little delay on the snap caused that. But, yeah, Laws had been in for Edwards. He's going to be the Wildcat quarterback. You could tell he was going to run the ball. I saw him run a few times from that position in a JV game. He did a great job. So, be interesting to see what he does here. Looks like Wolfson's made a lot of substitutions on their
.6:45 left in the game. Baldwin 47, Wolfson nothing after the blocked extra point. O'Neal boots this one, and it bounces off the 5-yard line off of Grooms and rolls into the end zone for his second touchback. As Sam Brooks and O'Neal chest bump at the 40-yard line, something you don't see every day. And get some skin from Coach Velvet and Coach Shields. And that's a game changer, man. If a kicker is able to boot it out of the end zone, I would probably say the average starting field position is about your own 40, and kickoffs you put it back to your own 20. So going the length of the field, it's just playing the odds at that point.
Yeah, it was good to see Sam Brooks showing Aiden O'Neal some love after that kick bounced off of the receiver's chest at the 5 and into the end zone for his second touchback of the game. Like I said, if he can do that consistently, Coach Shields will love him. Because next week, those boys from Baker County back there that will be fielding that ball can fly. So it'll be totally different.
So there was another trivia question I want to ask you before we get out of here. I don't know. This is I asked you a college one. I know that was pretty difficult. This is an NFL one. So Tom Brady got 600 touchdown passes last week. He now has 602. And there's a quarterback. I'll give you a hint. He's currently in the NFL. So Brady has 602. There's a quarterback in the NFL right now that has 301. So you would think he's half of Tom Brady. Who would that quarterback be? If you just throw up a random guess.
I'm going to random guess Matthew Stafford, but he may have more than that. I'm not real sure, but I would just random guess Matthew Stafford.
The answer is Matthew Stafford.
Yes, I redeemed myself.
You didn't see that before? You didn't see that nowhere? So I heard it on the radio station. You read the question
earlier.
Yeah,
I didn't have any idea what it was.
Man.
And I did not Google it.
Man, yeah, no Google. I seen you right here. Yeah, man.
That comes straight from here.
Right there in the brain, man. Yeah. So, if you look at that list too of the career touchdown passes, Brady's like 600. Manning and Breeze have like 500 something. The one that shocked me the most, if you look back to way back in the 90s, I say way back, Troy Aikman, more known for a gunslinger. Take an estimate of how many touchdown passes he threw for in his career.
247. I don't know.
So Mr. Tax beside me, who's probably about as diehard Cowboy as you can get. He guesses 320. Troy Aikman threw for 170 touchdown passes. Now a little bit goes to the era, and you also had Emmitt Smith behind you. But still, you think of
all-time league rusher.
Yeah.
There you go.
As ball's almost intercepted by Kayvon Williams at the 40-yard line. 4 minutes left in the game, but I thought that was cool.
Yeah, also Troy Aikman was probably the most concussed quarterback of all time, and he also was the quarterback when they were 1-15. So he took quite the beating back there.
Yeah, he was a part of that Jimmy Johnson team when they literally built it from the ground up.
Does he have 3 Super Bowl rings, Coach Tackett? He's got 3. Yeah, so that's he had a great career. I'm glad to see him doing I love him as a broadcaster. I think he's one of the good ones. Oh no!
That ball's caught at midfield and gets to the 45, but the ball's fumbled, picked up down the right sideline, and he's tackled. Another fumble at the 25. That was Raekwon Henry As there's a hurt player for Wolfson, the guy who caught it initially before he fumbled. As the clock stops with 3:01 to play in the game, Baldwin leads 47-0. And it was Grooms who's got most of the returns for Wolfson, but hopefully it's not a lower leg issue. The field has been wet. You can see a lot of mud around both 30, 35-yard lines. As it rained most of the morning, it came to us halts around 11 noon today. And it rained. It was a monsoon for about 20 minutes. And it looks like the trainer's holding up his right leg, so usually a cramp if you see those. But Baldwin tonight leads 47-0 and led 27-0 out of the half. Harvin had 3 touchdowns in the first half. Buggus had 1. Laws gets 1 on a quarterback keeper, and it's been all Baldwin so far. But the big ones next week, Baker County. Kickoff will be at 6:30. Baker County and Baldwin will go into that game with 2 losses each. Baker County and that upper district in 5A has wrapped up their district and won it after beating Ed White last week by 20. And Baldwin's still playing for a seed in District 4A, Region 1. Baldwin's a 3 seed, hoping to keep that as Grooms walks up on his own power. Got up in front of Baldwin's sideline, has a long walk to Wolfson's sideline. But week 11, and it's been a daunting season. You know, if you think about week 1 was canceled, week 2 you had a bye, and since then it's been 8 straight weeks. This is the 7th one of your season. Couple injuries, but Baldwin's overcame adversity, played in a lot of close games, and you'll play one more tough task before hitting the postseason.
Yeah, losing Larry Worth was big, but what this team has accomplished through the adversity is big.
And Laws gets another interception at the 35, cuts it upfield, and he's tackled at the 20. And that should do it with about 2.5 minutes left in the game.
You know, your normal counterpart, Devin Runnels, would have been proud because there was a perfect example of linebacker on the pass play, sinking and getting depth, and he put himself in position to make the play. And old Ronnie would have been proud of that play.
Yeah, he's in Texas for a disc golf tournament for this week. But something Runnels did his senior night, remember, against Union County.
That's right.
Pick 6 on that opening drive.
It couldn't have happened to a better kid when he stepped in front of that ball against Union County, a pretty good Union County team we beat that night. And couldn't have been happier for Devin Runnels, our Mike linebacker that night.
Carter gets a jet sweep around the left side. He gets to the numbers, turns it upfield, and he will find the end zone for his first touchdown of the season. So Laws gets 1, and now Mason Carter, who usually plays defensive end, another sophomore that we're talking about on this Baldwin team. And Baldwin has put up a 50-burger, and it's 53-0 over Wolfson with about 1:15 to play as the clock runs. And it looks like they're going to kick an extra point with Pardo as the kicker. And Aiden O'Neill, the starting kicker, will be the holder. But Coach, Baldwin takes care of business. Probably most expected. It was good after what happened last week after a slow start as the extra point was blocked yet again. But Baldwin 53-0. Any final thoughts from the game before we get out of here? And thanks for joining me tonight, brother.
My pleasure. I appreciate the invite. Like I said, 88 had been in there all night on those extra points. He was 5 yards in the backfield before the ball was snapped, but I think they're going to let that one ride as we count down the time here. It's a great way to end the homecoming night and go into the game next week's against Baker County because that's a strong and fast team. It'll be a very challenging game, and I hope we make a good showing. And, hey, you never know. That's why they play the game, man, how we match up. I'd like to see us beat them.
That'll do it tonight for me, Dylan Denmark, alongside my partner for tonight, Coach Bruce Ruiz. Baldwin comes out on top for their homecoming game against Wolfson, 53-0. Catch us next week. Baldwin will play Baker County next Friday night at 6:30. Kickoff will start at 6:20. Thanks to all of our sponsors for helping us be on the air. For me, Dylan DeMarco, and my partner, Bruce Ruiz, signing off. See you next Friday against Baker County. So long, everybody.